Commander Balak.
I know. 1,000 questions. But first, the Tranya.
Hello everyone, I'm Johnny, and today we're taking a look at a fantastic classic Trek episode, the Corbomite maneuver. One that will help define the franchise and Kirk's style as a captain. So let's check it out. In this episode, the Enterprise has gone into uncharted territory, further than any Federation starship has traveled in this area of space. What they discover is a mysterious and highly advanced cube. This cube begins to block the Enterprise's movements before emitting a dangerous level of radiation, putting the crew at risk. The Enterprise, knowing the cube to be unmanned, chooses to destroy it. The encounter with the cube rattles the crew and damages the Enterprise. Was the cube a buoy or a warning of some kind? Should the Enterprise turn back or press ahead in search of the intelligence that built such a device? The decision on what action to take next leads to perhaps one of the most understated exchanges in the franchise. Kirk solicits Spock's opinion on the cube and what to do next. Spock gives him his ever-rational assessment, though they both have an understanding, even before Spock speaks, that Kirk has likely made up his mind on the issue. Here is the exchange that follows Spock's logical assessment.
Has it occurred to you that there's a certain inefficiency in constantly questioning me on things you've already made up your mind about?
It gives me emotional security.
It's a wonderful exchange and underscores Kirk's inspiring command skills. Kirk is basically telling Spock that even if he doesn't always follow his advice, it still has worth to his state of mind, and therefore his ability to captain. This sort of leadership greatly encourages open communication, while at the same time builds trust, respect, and even affection. Making this exchange all the more powerful, Kirk has bestowed the power of emotional support to someone who likely didn't even believe they could give it. It's a beautiful way to foster confidence and growth in a man or in a team. Besides, you can't just inspire a crew by walking around shirtless all the time.
All decks alert.
Anyway, the Enterprise carries on into the unknown section of space and does eventually encounter a massive ship associated with the initial device they destroyed. The ship is enormous, dwarfing the Enterprise, and its technology is exceedingly advanced.
Fascinating.
Contact is made with the vessel. In command is Balak, who would become one of Star Trek's most recognizable alien faces, if not one of the most recognizable faces of classic science fiction. He is mysterious, cold, and has a complete disregard for the lives of those on the Enterprise. And the fact that he doesn't look quite real makes him all the more unnerving. Belloc judges the Enterprise to be destroyed for their attack on the buoy and disregard for his civilization's space. He gives the Enterprise and her crew 10 minutes to prepare for their destruction. What happens next are Kirk's more obvious and memorable lines from the series, lines that will help define the Star Trek franchise and set it apart from other works of popular science fiction.
Captain to crew. Those of you who have served for long on this vessel have encountered alien life forms. You know the greatest danger facing us is ourselves, an irrational fear of the unknown. But there's no such thing as the unknown. Only things temporarily hidden, temporarily not understood. In most cases, we have found that intelligence, capable of a civilization, is capable of understanding peaceful gestures. Surely a life form advanced enough for space travel is advanced enough to eventually understand our motives. All decks, stand by. Captain out.
These are powerful and hopeful words. A society that has developed space travel to this level surely would have destroyed itself long ago if it were not peaceful enough to coordinate such advancement. The technology to power spaceships would no doubt grant untold destructive power. To wield this power and survive as a species must advance ethically and socially as they advance scientifically. This is an important concept for Cold War-era Star Trek, made during the height of the first nuclear age. Nuclear energy, of course, too, has the power to make us an advanced civilization, or destroy us. Are we a society advanced enough to harness the atom, and advanced enough to understand each other on Earth? Will we kill each other, or make it to the stars? Kirk, however, at this time, is not able to directly communicate the Enterprise's intentions with Belloc, so Kirk will have to use his poker skills to bluff his way out of destruction.
Poker. Do you know the game?
Here, Kirk invents the famous Corbomite maneuver, bluffing that the Enterprise has a Corbomite defensive system that essentially creates a feedback attack if the ship is destroyed, ensuring any ship that destroys a Federation vessel is also destroyed during its attack. The bluff works, and a series of following events leads to Belloc being the one in distress, with the Enterprise set free to leave the system. However, Kirk decides to rescue Belloc instead of escaping the hostile space. The ultimate altruistic action. Kirk risks the Enterprise to save an enemy bent on his ship's destruction. It's yet another action in this episode that defines Kirk as a captain. What happens next is one of the most memorable endings of any episode. It's discovered the Belloc Kirk believed he was originally talking to is just a puppet, being controlled by a mysterious childlike alien, played here by a 7-year-old Clint Howard, with a dubbed-over voice.
We must drink. This is Tranya. I hope you relish it as much as I.
Commander Belloc.
I know. 1,000 questions.
This child Belloc seems far less hostile than the puppet. Another character-building moment presents itself. Kirk here has to put his words into practice once more, accepting a drink from an alien that only moments ago he feared was trying to kill him and his entire crew. He chooses to trust this new Belloc, despite everything that has happened. He believes in the power of his goodwill and intentions. Much like the original puppet Belloc, there is something very memorable about this new one. He is both disarming and yet slightly unnerving. Sometimes low-budget makeup and interesting voice acting can make a thing or person more alien and more fascinating than modern special effects. What we discover is that Belloc set the whole engagement up as a test. The Enterprise was not in real danger. Rather, the event was a way for him to assess species he comes across for their character and intentions. Belloc, like the Enterprise, seeks an exchange of culture and to meet new life. Lastly, Kirk is given one more great opportunity to show his character by forgiving Lieutenant Bailey, who had previously cracked under pressure on the bridge. Kirk allows Bailey to volunteer to serve on Belloc's ship in a cultural exchange, with the group agreeing that his status as an imperfect officer is the right choice for this mission, as it should help him grow, while at the same time provide a realistic example of man for Belloc to learn from. All right, I'm Johnny. Thanks for watching. Do like, subscribe, or comment. But most importantly, do take care and have a nice rest of your day. Oh, and my apologies to Commander Belloc. Fun fact, his name is pronounced several different ways in the episode, but Belloc is the preferred pronunciation.